Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another edition of Ask a Paradox, edition number 4. I know it's been a long time since I did this, but I'm back. Happy New Year guys. I know it's a very late Happy New Year, but better late than never. I'm here at the Hip Hop House where I teach my regular classes, and I'm seated down again to answer your guys' questions. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is from Vladimir Jankaukas. He said, hello. I want to say that your videos are really helpful. Kevin, I have a big problem with my hands. When I dance with my hands, I feel like I do the same thing and I just can't find new moves. Maybe you can help me and suggest something to find new moves. And I have another question. One day I was sitting down and suddenly I started thinking, what is the form of movement? Maybe you can explain it. Thank you one more time, and I hope for an answer. Okay, Vladimir, thank you for the question. Okay, Vladimir, so you asked me for 2 questions. I'm not going to do them both at the same time. I'm going to separate them, and I will come back to one of them a little later, okay? So let's first start about the hands. There's actually someone else who also asked about the hands, so I'll actually answer you both at the same time. The other question came from Diamond Skyless, and he said, hi Kevin, can you tell me and give me some advice on how to develop techniques for your hands? I think this is a problem very popular among beginner dancers. So I'm going to answer Diamond's question and Vladimir's question at the same time. First, let's start here. Dancing is like talking, they say most of the time, sometimes. It's like having a conversation with your body. When we speak with our hands, we use our hands naturally when we talk. What we don't do is we don't focus on what we do with our hands. We don't focus on our hand movements as we talk. If we would do that, if I would focus on my hands as I would talk to you, it would seem really strange because it would seem really unnatural if I would do this the whole time. You understand what I'm saying? In dance, it's the same thing. My hands are an extension of what I try to say with my dance. So if I focus too much on my hands and what I want to do, I lose the complete essence of using my body. So see your hands as the extension of what your body is trying to say, and that will already help you to get a more natural feel for the hands and how you want to use it. Your body will naturally put your hands into a position where it can translate the movement of your own body more into your hands. So what if I really can't find anything to do with my hands? What if I really don't know how to use it? I tried the extension stuff and I tried to feel it, but it just doesn't come. How can I create movement for my hands? This is how. Some ideas. Talking. Learning to talk with your dance will really help you to develop skills in your hands. If I have feelings, certain ideas or words, sentences, something I want to say in mind, but I dance it out, what happens is my body will follow this idea in my head, and actually the movement of my hands will follow it too. If I'm angry and I think angry and I want to say something bad to you, my body will move like that. My hands will move like that because we are natural talkers with our hands. So trying to talk with your dance will not just help your hands and develop your hands, it will also help you to get more meaning and essence inside of your dance. Yeah, it will make your dance more filled instead of empty, where you just try to move to look good. Now you have a meaning behind your dance, and because of this, there's an essence that people can actually see. Another great method to help you develop your hands is just using everyday life actions, things you do every day. Maybe grabbing the doorknob and opening it, or I don't know, or washing your hands, or whatever you can think of. For instance, we have something that a lot of people use in dance, and that is using a ball. If I would have a ball in my hands and I would try to dance with it and move with it, I would get a certain type of motion that is logical for whatever, because the only way I can, for instance, not do this because then there's no ball anymore, right? It has a logical motion, and this will help you to create logical movement that people can understand and process and see in your dance. So we can have, for instance, a ball or maybe a plate. If I would have a plate here and I would try to rotate around that plate, I could have a concept with a plate. I could actually learn to dance with my hands because of that. Think of logical things that we do in everyday life. I push something, I pull, I grab, I throw, I catch. This will help you to develop meaningful movement in your hands. So play around and find whatever crazy thing you can get. The crazier the better, as long as you can make it work, of course. Last but not least, I will tell you about the 5 hand forms that I created for myself. So what I did was I created 5 hand forms that to me seemed logical to use, because it's just how do you say it? Basic positions for your hands to be in that we use in every day. The 5 forms are open fingers, closed fingers, ball, point, and loop. Let me see, is that 5? Open, closed, ball, point, and loop. 5. The 5 hand forms. I use these in my dance because I noticed that whenever I change in one of these, my complete dance changes. This teaches you that every little thing that you do in your dance can actually completely change your movement. And if you don't believe me, close your eyes and dance. All you do is close the lid of your eyes for 1 centimeter, whatever, and it changes your dance completely. The same thing works whatever else that we do. Yeah, it has influence on our bodies. So this helped me a lot, and I really hope it will help you guys. I really hope it will. I hope it teaches you something. I hope you will get something from it. Keep in mind that when I, for instance, do an open hand, maybe this is a feeling of dancing big smacks or whatever. Closed hand is fists. I don't know. I can punch something with it, or I can be aggressive about it. Maybe I focus more on my body because my hands are closed, for instance. A point is to point out something, to point at something. Point there, point there, point there. It has already a different meaning, and because of the different meaning that I can create with my body, boom, 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 the essence of the movement becomes completely different, and the meaning behind it becomes different. And with that, the way you dance, the way you move will become different. And the more different your dance becomes with every aspect, if I have 1 minute of dance and these 5 seconds are different than this one, this one, and this one, your dance becomes interesting and you can do a lot more with it. There's more variation to your dance. So I hope this helps you guys. The next question that I'm gonna get into is not the one from Vladimir. I'm first gonna get into another question that actually has a lot to do with this question. The next question is from Dmitry Nazarov. Hey Kevin, first of all, thank you for your last answers. It's awesome what you do. Thanks. So I really like to see your dance, especially your coordination of movement. I have a problem. When I dance, I can't connect my head, my legs, or my arms and legs together. The question I want to ask you is how to connect movement of different parts of my body. Thank you. Just like not thinking about the hands when we talk, we don't think about the opposite of direction of movement with our hands or our arms and our legs when we walk. So the first thing that you have to try to get is to try to become natural about it. Try to not force yourself and think about what you're doing. We don't think about getting this opposite motion going on when we walk. If you think about it, it's becoming really weird. Same thing works with dance. If I think about how my arms and my legs and my head have to move at the same time, it's gonna feel really strange. Try to get a natural feeling for it. That's one. Remember how with the hands I talked about trying to speak, and that will help your movement and help creating your movement. The same thing works with the coordination of your body. Yeah? Think about it as an extension again. Yeah? If you speak something out, if you think, if you feel a certain feeling and try to express that, your body will move according to that feeling and it will connect in a different way than you could do if you would think about it. That's one. Or that's two. The third thing that will help you is seeing your body, or let's say seeing one part of your body as the extension of the other. Now if my mind is focused on a certain step, movement with the legs, for instance, what I can do is I can see my hands, my head, or whatever else as an extension of that move. Yeah? So that if I, for instance, move into that direction with my leg, I can actually choose to extend this with my arm. I can choose to extend. I already looked into that way. You saw it, I did it naturally and unconsciously. I already looked that way when I stepped. With that, like I said, the natural thing really helps. And like I said, seeing it as an extension, seeing your body parts. If I, for instance, use my hands like this, seeing my face and the way I use my head as an extension of this movement, I'm just trying to I'm just trying to extend whatever I use. If I do a step out and out, for instance, out with my legs, my arms, boom, boom, go with it. I just use them as an extension of the focus that I put on my legs, yeah? So don't focus on two things at once, focus on one thing and give the other the extension part. Cool. There is also another way to perceive this, or a more difficult, more technical, more theoretic way to speak about this, and I'll talk about it too for a little. Remember how I talked about the hands forms that we used? Well, with the connection of body parts and the coordination, you also have a certain type of forms or a certain type of motions that will help you to develop it better. What I'm talking about now is the one part in connection to the other. The symmetry or non-symmetry that is inside of your body that you can use. So let's start with number one, and that is same direction. If I move something, what I just did, I can use the other parts to move in the same boom, 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 in the same direction. Yeah, this is an easy thing because it's very natural to do. The second one is opposite direction. Instead of doing everything boom, boom, logically into the same way, in the same extension thingy that I talked about, I can also choose to do it the complete opposite. If my hand goes here, my head goes here, opposite. So if I extend here, I can extend my leg the other direction. Arm here, leg there. I can extend it in a different way, boom, boom. Or if I want to use my elbow and my shoulder, I can turn them opposites. I can turn them together, and I can turn them opposites, or different type of opposites. So same, opposites. The third technique is one after another. So that means I first show you a motion with this, and I choose to do the motion with another part of my body. I first go there, then I go with my chest, and I go with my head. I first do this, then this, then this. So I do the same motion with different parts one after another. Making the connections and the coordinational thing is not about doing it at the same time every time. It's also about being able to vary with the parts into logical or unlogical direction. Logical meaning if I do this, then this goes there. Unlogical means if I do this goes front, back, for instance. It's still logics, but figure of speech. Also with the one after another, it doesn't mean it always has to be the one shows the movement and the other follows that same motion. I can also choose to do one thing with the one part, and then when my leg comes in, I choose to do something else. It's about consciously moving one thing and then consciously switching to another thing. The fourth technique is the one moves the other, which means if I have, for instance, my arm, boom, now my arm moves my head, boom, 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 boom. Or my one arm moves the other, head, shoulder, knee, arm, head, knee, shoulder, whatever. I just messed it up, but you understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? The one part moves the other part. That's the fourth one. Again, 5. 5 is a special number to me. The one triggers the other, which means if I do something here, ka, this triggers the next part. If I for instance, if I would do this triggered this. I can do a motion, boom, 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 pa, 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 boom, boom, boom. The one thing triggers the other thing to move. If I have my knee up here, I can move my legs, and for instance, connect them together. Let's do it with a clap, and because of the clap, boom, my head now moves. And when my head is in motion, I can choose to shove it back, and because I shove it back, my elbow is shoved back too. When I push this down, boom, this arm comes up. So the one triggers the other. That's the 5. So now we have moving in same direction as your body, boom, boom, boom. Moving in the opposite direction, boom, 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 boom. One after another. That's number 3. One after another. This one goes here, then this one goes there. Or I first do this, then I do head, 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 for instance. The fourth one is the one moves the other. So I now move my head with, for instance, boom, 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 my leg, boom, or whatever else you can think of. And the fifth one is the one triggers the other. So when I have my arms, I can make my arms boom, move my head. I can make my head boom, 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 move my legs or my knees or whatever I want. Yeah, these 5 things are will help you with your coordination of your body, of your dance. Now this can be used in a lot of different techniques, so that means I can choose to do isolation, flow, concept. The concept is for instance the toy man, right? And what I can do is I can use the toy man, I can use these same ideas inside of the toy man. But of course with another concept you have other ideas and other interesting movement types, you could say. So yeah, I hope this really helps you. I think it would really help you. I hope you understood it. Thank you very much for the question. Good. We're getting into the third and final question. And this question is from a friend of mine. His name is Yaga Ho. And I actually gave him class in Indonesia. I know him from there. He got me over. So it's really nice to see a question of him here. I hope you're doing fine, bro. He asked this. Thank you so much for the knowledge you've been sharing with the whole world now. Continue on inspiring the world, brother. Thank you, man. I have a question as well, man. Can you please give a more in-depth explanation about the 4 elements and how to implement it on how we freestyle? Thanks, man. Peace. Thank you for the question, bro. I really hope you're doing good. So, this to me comes back to the one question Vladimir was asking. He was asking about what is the form of movement. The question is not really clear, to be honest, because the form of movement is what you make it to be, of course. Movement is just motion, just getting from one spot to another, and the form is how you get from one place to the other. And that's kind of what this question is about. So when it comes to movement, I'm playing. I'm editing the video right now, and I just wanted to add some more information, some more, elaborate a little bit more about the motion part, because what I said was motion is just getting from one spot to another. So there is always a reason why something is moving from one point to another. And when I say reason, I do not mean a conscious reason that we can think of, not always. But for instance, impulse before. There is always an impulse before something moves and a reaction to that movement. And that probably sounds very weird and very spacey, but I'll try to elaborate and explain on that. If I have movement right here, something has to set this in motion. For our bodies, we have a impulse inside here that sets our body in motion. Movement / motion is actually taking this impulse and bringing it into the next stage over here. So I want to eat, so I walk to my food and then I get my food to eat. Impulse, I want to have this ending, so my motion brings me there. And basically in life, any movement that we do comes from an impulse, may it be from feeling, emotion, music, whatever you can think of. There will always be a start and a finish. So motion works in 3 phases. Any movement that we do comes from an impulse, may it be from feeling, emotion, music, whatever you can think of, and it is never empty. I talked about using 4 elements in your dancing. First, I will explain what this kind of means and what this is and does to your dance. So the 4 elements is something I came up with because of martial arts. When I would look into certain types of martial arts, for instance, look into Tai Chi, I would see that they developed mindsets, or philosophies on elements. And this, when I was little, already interested me. I used to do martial arts, and this really interests me. And I would try to write my own philosophies about the elements myself. Later on, I would take these same elements, and I would try to put them in dance and see what happens if I would dance with the idea, with the thought and feeling of the 4 elements. So the 4 elements are fire, water, wind, and earth. Those are the ones that I used. There are a lot more, of course, but these are the ones that I used. What the elements in dance really are, and what they really do, is they are a form of transferring your energy, or of using your energy. Yeah, energy in dance works in three ways: speed, power, and size. I either go fast or I go really slow. Slow is also a type of energy, of course. It's a type of motion, but to go slow, I have to admit my energy in a different type of way. I can move really powerful, or I can move really weak. Notice that when I move weak, I can also move fast. It doesn't have to do with, it's not the same thing. Speed and power are not the same thing. And then we have size. I can choose to put my energy into a very big space, or admit my energy into a very small space. These are the three ways of using your energy. And when we use our energy in these different ways and we connect the small, big, slow and fast, etc. together, so maybe small to very big, you get something that is called a structure. And what the elements are, these are structures for your dance. You can see a structure as a sentence structure. Yeah, if I have a conversation, or if I'm talking, if I'm writing something, I have a certain composition that my sentences are in to make it good for you to read. When we dance, we cannot always go hard. If I would, for instance, dance with a lot of energy, admit it into power the whole time, at a certain point it will be too much for you. Yeah. If I would write a blog, but I would write it head along without any dots, dots at the end, it would be too much to read. So that's why we separate and segment our writing. Same thing happens with our dance. We try to separate and segment our dance, because sometimes in the music, the first part of the song does not sound as the second part of the song. We first have, for instance, an intro, and after the intro we have somewhere maybe the chorus or whatever. If we don't segment this with our dance and do the whole thing just one energy, it's not gonna fit to the music, and it's not gonna fit to your feelings. It's not gonna fit to someone who looks at it, and it's not gonna fit to your personal feelings when you dance and you want to really connect to the music. So that's what the four elements are for. They are basically four type of structures that you can use in your dance. This means that if I have a structure, this is a pattern. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put movement onto this pattern. So the pattern is not the movement itself yet. I can, for instance, take groove and put it on these structures. If I, for instance, take one groove, one step, the Bart Simpson, and I would put the Bart Simpson on water, fire, wind, and earth, that would look completely different. And that's the idea behind it. It's to be able to dance with different energies, with different type of emotions, with different feelings, and because of that, you're able to connect with the music in a better way, because the music always asks something different from you. And what I'm trying to do, what we are trying to do, is try to be able to show all the energies that exist inside of the music, not just the hard ones, not just the soft ones, but be able to completely translate the music, and that's what it's for. Example, if I have the wave, for instance, right? If I do a wave, this is my motion, boom, motion. Now I'm gonna put the patterns, the structures on my motion, yeah? So I take the wave, people would say this is water already, but let me show you. If I would do a wave with the idea of water, it would look a little something like, I hope maybe you can see this if I do it like this. It would look a little something like this, water. Now if I do it with the idea of fire, however, it would look completely different. You see, the pattern, the structure of the same move, changed. If I do it in the idea of earth, I would do it like that, maybe. If I do it in the idea of wind, that would be the way I would do it. And if I change between these, inside of the music, if I hear a snare, ka, and I think fire, ka, I start there, but then later on I hear a melody, wah, 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 and it makes me think of wind, so I do ka, shoo, 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 and the end is water, for instance, whatever. If I change the structures inside of this, then I get very interesting movement, which is a lot more advanced and helps me to really connect to parts of the music a lot more and show you so much more variation and interesting movement in one move. That's the idea. How the heck do you practice it? That was your question. The first method to practice this is seeing your body as the element, feeling your body as the element. So now I am not a physical human being, I am water. I think of myself as water, and I move myself around just like water would do. Everyone will do this in a different way, which makes it really interesting and which makes it very beautiful, because this way people will not do the same moves. Because of this, you'll find your own way in everything and find your own way of translating the music, basically. Ooh, that was interesting. So, first I think of water, and what I'll do is I won't even put any movement to it. So I won't put a stable move that I know. I'll just move from water. This is more of an abstract way, and it's to merge your body with the element and merge your body with the attributes of the element. So if water, for instance, has a lot of flow, liquid movement, and is very loose and able to move around things, your body will take over these attributes, and it's like becoming a complete different person and getting a complete different style. It will basically teach you to get out of your own comfort zone and teach you to have complete new ways of movement in your dance, and with that, complete new moves that you've never done before. Number two is putting an element to your movement. So now you don't let the water or the fire, the wind, the earth take over your movement. Now you keep your own movement and add these elements, add these structures to whatever you can do. So you take all your concepts, all your steps, your dances, whatever you have, all your techniques, and you try to do with the four elements. If I have the Bart Simpson, I want to be able to do all elements into that one step. I want to be able to do it with fire, with wind, with water, with earth. And when I can do that, I know that any song that will come on, I'll be able to use this movement in a different type of way. I'll be able to change my vocabulary to the music, and that's very important. So the first one is think of your body as the element, merge with the element. The second one is put an element to the movement, whatever moves you can think of. The last one is finding the elements in the music, which means you're gonna search for the sounds that to you sound like the elements. So if I, for instance, hear a snare, this makes me think of fire. Why? Because it's sharp, and when fire comes, it can bang, boom, fire can explode, for instance. That's what makes me think of it. If I hear a piano, maybe I can think of water. If I hear a bass, maybe it can make me think of earth. Yeah, and if I connect these sounds with the elements, it will teach me to show the real energy of a sound. So not of the music, of a sound. Also of the music, sorry, both. Yeah, it will teach me to show you the real energy, and that is what is the trick behind musicality. Musicality is a lot more than just showing the timing of the instruments that you hear. Yeah, if I know that in 5, 6, 7, 8 the beat drops, boom, it doesn't mean that if I just do this, boom, that I now showed a beautiful beat kill and it was amazing. I just showed that I know the timing. To really understand musicality, there's a lot of parts you have to go through. I don't know all parts yet. So there's a lot you have to be able to do, or a lot you can learn. Not have to be able to do, a lot you can learn from that. Trying to show the energy of the music, and the elements will teach you that. If I have a snare, because I practiced fire, I can really show it. I can really show the beautiful energy that is inside of that sound. And that's when dance becomes art. So musicality is not just showing the timing of when the instruments fall down when they come there. That's not it. Musicality is being able to show what the music looks like, show what the music sounds like, and show what the music feels like. What is the story behind the music? What is the movement that I see when I see the music? And can I relate it maybe to something in real life, like fire, water, wind, earth? Or maybe I hear a crashing snare, And I think of where in a movie I see two cars crash and they use the same sound. Because when you think about it, in movies they use music as an extension for real movement. You get a crazy ass song to a car chase, for instance, right? And understanding that there's stories behind the music helps you to admit so much more of the music than just the sound, than just timing. And elements help you to do that. So number one is merge with the elements. Just get into it and see your body as one of the elements and move around. Number 2 is put the element to your movement. So take whatever movements you got, take whatever concepts, ideas, moves, steps, whatever you can find, and try to put all 4 elements to it so that you know you can change your vocabulary to whatever you want and you can merge with the music again. And number 3 is find the elements inside of the music and try to show them, try to express the elements inside of the sounds that you can hear. Yeah, I hope these things help you. I hope this was a informative and helpful video to you guys. I'm sorry it took such a long time to make the next one. Thank you very much for all the beautiful comments you guys gave me. Really, thank you so much for all the likes and shares and whatever you do. Please keep doing that because this will really help me to get higher up with my videos and to be able to explain these type of things to more people so that dance can grow, because that's all I want. I want dance to grow to a point where it's not about the beat kill anymore. Ooh. It's not about how cool my move is, it's about the expression of the art. And that's kind of what I'm trying to go at right now. That's what I'm trying to go for. So thank you guys for listening to my view. Like I say a lot of times, this is my view, which means it's not the total truth. Someone else has a different type of truth. And this is not the perfect way, this is my way. But if my way helps your way, in a way, that's all what I did there. Sorry, that's stupid. If my way helps you to find your way, then I'm glad I was able to do this for you guys. So thank you guys very much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe because I got a lot of videos coming up. This is gonna be a crazy year and I hope you stick with me. Thank you guys. Peace, love, unity, having fun. Goodbye.